Hello and welcome to the Roughneck Minute, a Movies by Minute podcast where we go over the movie Starship Troopers 1 minute at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Matthew.
And I'm your other host, Johann.
And we're at minute 39. This minute begins with Rico and Diz shaking hands and ends with Carmen saying that she's gonna go career.
Yep.
So yeah, mail call after Dizzy and Rico shake hands, becoming friends once again. I don't know when they stop becoming friends.
Yeah, so who's the mail call again? It's
Bronsky.
Sujumi.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
No, the ones who receive mail. It's Sujumi, Rico, Breckenridge, and somebody else.
Yes. Actually, he's off camera. We don't even know who this guy is, but his name is Nyler.
Which one's Nyler?
No, that's the thing. He's not on screen at all. You just hear him go, "Oh yeah, I'm here."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just Nyler gets one as well too. Yeah, it's Shijumi, Rico, Ace gets one as well too. So Levy, Shijumi, Rico, Breckenridge, Nyler, yeah. And then he says, "Well, that's all, folks," but everyone else was kind of looking to get some mail from home or something like that.
Nobody else likes anybody else that's
here.
No,
I guess not. I mean, well, they probably get mail every single day, and this was just today's mail call.
Yeah, because I noticed in the beginning of when the mail shows up, it says approved message. So they probably all get vetted before everybody's allowed to see it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's probably the case as well too. I mean, this seems like it would be heavily censored by the government and make sure that everything is okay. Especially the letter that Rico gets, because he gets on top of this rack, puts it in the slot. I'm sorry, in the little, what is it called? The holder for the, it's a mini CD. It's not a mini disc. Like I did say it was a mini disc a couple episodes back, but it is a mini CD. Now these CDs were pretty much about, I want to say, half the size of a regular CD, and they did fit into a CD player or any other discs. Now, if you guys have, say, an older desktop, if you open up that desktop and it has a disc drive in it, there's a little small kind of indent for a smaller size looking CD. That's where that would go.
They still make them now, but it's just the memory on them is so small that it's almost pointless.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, sorry.
I want to go back just a little bit. When you mentioned that Rico goes into his rack, I wanted to bring up that at 38:07, speaking of rack, it's the topless girl in the shower is sitting in the back in that bottom bunk.
Yes, as Doris Hendricks call her background boobs. That's her.
Yeah. So Boobs McGee, she's sitting in that bottom bunk. You can kind of see her when Bronsky hands the message over to Shijumi. But yeah, same background girl.
Background boobs. All right.
Yep.
Welcome back, background boobs. Good to see you.
Hey, at least she gets a call back, you know?
She definitely does, and I guess she's not craft services.
Yep.
That is a callback right there.
Yeah. But I wanted to bring it up because you kind of see her in the last minute, but you can't make her out. But this one, as soon as it started panning out to her, like I looked at the hair, compared the jawline and the eyebrows, and it's the same girl. They use the same girl for this scene. So that means she probably got 2 days of paid work, which is good for her.
Yeah, depending on how long these scenes took to shoot as well, too.
Yeah, because it's quite a bit of a gap between the shower scene to this one. So I don't know if they filmed them at 2 separate days, but with the training that goes in between and all that, where they're setting up in the outside, who knows if they just filmed everything indoors, in 1 day or something like that.
Yeah.
So we can skip over to where he just puts in the message onto his screen or onto his little monitor so you can see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you see Carmen where she backs up and she's already got her table of stuff, her, I don't know, all her makeup, which I would think would be unnecessary if you were in the federal service.
So yeah, I did notice this too, as well too. She does have a lot of makeup / hair products on her mirror, and also there's a couple of pictures and postcards on her mirror too, kind of like a high school girl would have. So she's still in the high school kind of mentality, isn't she?
Yeah, so who's also sending her all these postcards?
Family, her dad. I did look a little closer on this one. It's kind of it's very blurry back there, but there looks like there is like a drawn Santa or something on one of those postcards.
Yeah, no, it's that old lady.
Old lady?
Yeah, she's in all the Hallmark cards. It's that grumpy old lady.
The one with the dark glasses where she's like, "Arr."
Yeah, dressed up as a Santa. I've seen that card
No
before.
way! So they had
Yeah.
Whoa.
So she's made it from the 21st century and the 20th century all the way to 23rd century for this one.
Jeez.
But yeah, like, see, the thing that I thought was weird was when my friend went to boot, it was very, very difficult for us to send any message to him until he got stationed elsewhere. So that's why I'm wondering, where did she get all these cards?
Not sure. I mean, maybe she got them all in bulk, especially because she's on a. From what I remember, like they don't really get too much mail like on the ships at all. They do get like sometimes supplies coming in and everything, but these ships seem really self-sufficient. So I would think that she probably got this all in one go, and that was it. Like she's not going to get anything else for like at least 6 more months.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought was weird. It's just she went from basically flight school training to this ship. So she was stationed on the moon, and then here, and then she's got postcards.
Yeah,
that's why I'm wondering. Like that's why, like, I'm assuming that when she was on the moon, that was technically their boot camp because that's where they're going through their training, and they don't get a lot of messages around that time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wondering, like, when did she get all these messages? Unless they were all from Xander.
Yeah. They're on the same ship. I don't think they're going to be sending each other, like, notes like, do you like me? Circle yes, no.
Yeah.
I think, honestly...
Can I see you after homeroom?
You want to meet me in the hall?
Yeah. Want to scam?
Ooh.
Yeah, knowing her, she probably circled yes on all that. It's like, yeah, I know I'm with Johnny, but so here's a couple of the things that's weird with her room. It's very well equipped with personal stuff.
Oh, it definitely is.
You know, compared to Johnny's, like it like Johnny's looks like a bunk. Like it's nothing special. His bed looks like everybody else's that's on there, and he shares it. But she looks like she has like a waiting chair right next to her vanity mirror, and to the left looks like she has a wheeled luggage carrier. Like, these are all a lot of personal effects, and I wouldn't assume that they would have a lot of them.
Yeah, her room looks like, I'm going off of what like a submarine would look like, but submarines are kind of smaller as well too compared to this ship. Even still, like a normal cadet or some kind of like pilot or something like that is not going to have a huge room like this. This would be like a stateroom for like a captain or enlisted officers or something like that. The only other way I can think of where like a person would have this big of a room is on the Starship Enterprise D, which was massive and could hold around like 2,000 people. But yeah, her room looks really, really, really big, especially for her standing as a cadet. I did notice a little bit on the message beforehand, before it plays, actually. It's like there's a message ID, which I probably won't go through because it's a little bit long, but I'll just state up the first couple lines. It's 324-MI2FC. I'm guessing the MI just means that's like his address, MI, Mobile Infantry 2FC. I'm not sure about that part because he's at Fort, not Roger Young, I'm sorry. He's at Fort Curie, Arthur Curie.
Is it Curie? Oh, yeah, FC, Fort Curie.
That could work, yeah. MI to FC, so that may work, but I was thinking they would do FAC if that was the case. But I did notice a little bit about his little rack monitor right there. It looks kind of like a multimedia center, just because it has the place for the mini CD, but it also has a couple buttons that he presses. One of the buttons that he presses is play, which, you know, you do when you want to play whatever is in there. Also has a scan button, a mode button, display button, and a send button. So I'm guessing maybe he can catch up on a little bit of Netflix before he goes to bed, and also send a couple messages as well.
Now, wouldn't this? Well, this is an audio. What's it called? Front.
No, it's not.
No, because scan is when you scan like the first 5 seconds of each track.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's where they got the prop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case too, but I mean, who knows what kind of multimedia the center this thing is in their future, who knows. But yeah, it's a prop that just has scan on it that you can scan the first 5 seconds, of course. But one of the things I had a problem with when I was little, when I first watched this movie, was if it's the future and they're getting like calls from like AT&T, you know, call back to a future minute, actually a spoiler to a future minute. Why is Rico getting a mini CD letter from Carmen? Why isn't he getting an email? Because this is 97 and email was a thing. I had AOL and I was, you know, sending emails to myself and my mom. I think was the only people who I was sending emails to. But even still, it was a thing. You could send electronic mail. I don't know if video mail was there yet, but I mean, it didn't make sense to me at the time, but it makes a little more sense now, where if you're going to send military mail from like a cadet to another cadet or from someone else to someone else, you really don't want that stuff going over the air. You don't want that going through like any like unspecific channels or unregulated channels. So what I'm thinking is, because Carmen's on her ship and because they probably got a supply run, she recorded it to this disc and sent it to Johnny, because they can't connect automatically like that.
Yeah, but this was like CDRs were starting to become big, and so was DVDs around this time.
True.
It's like I think they're kind of playing off with what seemed like could carry a video, whereas emails could not at the time, just to make it more relatable.
Yeah. But those CDRs could not carry that much.
No, they could not. I had them, and you could only store like 8 songs or something like that.
Not even. I mean,
I think less.
Yeah.
Because back then there wasn't MP3 that would condense the data as much, so you actually had like the entire WAV file. So it took up a lot of music. Mm-hmm. Space. Like music took up a lot of space on each of the CDs, and these CDRs, I think like I wish I still had one to reference it, but I could have sworn it was like half.
Yeah, it was half.
Like 480 or something like that. Like it just wasn't even significant. So unless you got like the 12 megabit downloads from like Kazaa or Napster at the time, like you really couldn't store a lot on these little CDs. And you are right. You can't store a lot, because I think that whole video would not have fit on that CD.
No, it looks like a high quality video as well too.
Yeah, because there wasn't even like blue reading lasers, which made Blu-ray, and this wasn't even a dual layer at the time. It was a single layer, so it really could like maybe the first few seconds, like "Hi Johnny," and that would have been it.
Yeah. Oh, you got to put in disc number 2 to read the next part of the video. And there's like a crate of just videos from her, but it's all just one message.
Yeah. Please put in disc 2 to continue.
2 of 30.
Yeah. And hit spacebar once it's in.
Yeah, it doesn't automatically read it. It just notices it's in there and asks you to press spacebar.
Yeah, CD's corrupted. Oh man, I'm going to miss out on 5 seconds of what she had to say.
It was interrupted. You have to start over again.
Yeah. Oh, but also, like, the dial on the far left looked like something that was in a car at a time.
It kind of does, yeah. Honestly, yeah, now that you're saying it, it does kind of look more like a center console for a, like, 80s or 90s style car that has a brand new CD player in it.
Yeah, and then you would kind of twist the dial to track it forward or back.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why it's rounded right there. So yeah, this I tried looking online. I don't know the brand of this thing because it says GYP3. I can only assume it was a Sony at the time because they are the ones that were carrying a lot of these things. Because
Yeah.
they thought it was going to go big, especially with the you remember they used to have those mini disc players that
Yep.
had like single songs on there.
I remember those. Yeah, they sold them at like toy stores, and it was like, buy the first 45 seconds of Britney Spears' "Hit Me Baby One More Time" or something like
No,
that.
no, they had one with like the full song on,
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
and it was Sony that sold them.
Yeah, I was like going crazy over those. I'm like, this is kind of dumb though. I have an MP3 player that works just fine.
Yeah, the ones that you're thinking of were the ones that are like at like I think it was like a Burger King or a McDonald's, and you can get the like the little quick thing of the song, and but yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I remember that Sony made an actual one because they also had like the mini disc player and everything, which I actually had, but I'm pretty sure this one was made by Sony at the time, and it just didn't take off.
Yeah. No, unfortunately. Yeah, go ahead.
You'd be swapping too many mini CDs like over and over again.
Yeah, I actually had a mini disc player for a little bit too, but then got rid of it because it just there wasn't much coming out for mini disc at the time, and it was just a bad investment.
Yeah, and every song you had to get had to be converted to like to that mini disc player. So it was horrible.
It was a cool
so
idea, but I mean, it was just a weird format that no one got into. I mean, CDs were hitting it off, and no one cared that, oh, in this one you could have a mini CD, but it's protected, kind of like an old floppy disk, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can throw it around and it won't get scratched, but you could just easily put a CD into a case and it'd be fine.
Yeah. The only good thing about those mini disc players was they could have recorded on the spot.
Oh, they could have, yeah.
If you had an auxiliary in, which CDs at the time could not do. So that was the only benefit to them, but I don't know.
Yeah, so let's get back to the movie a little bit.
Okay.
We see Carmen, she backs up and she's like, well, hey Rico, hey Johnny, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm sorry, I've been so busy. She's basically saying that she hasn't written in a long time because she's been busy.
Yeah, in the script, it has her that she's standing in front of the camera in her skivvies.
Ooh, okay. That'd be a little better because, all the guys behind them or behind Rico are like, woo, Rico. I'm sorry. That's mostly Ace that's doing it. He's like, whoa, Rico, you don't deserve that.
Yeah. All it takes is the love of a good woman.
Actually, let's get to that a little bit. She's basically saying, I'm so sorry. It's been a while. Hey, you probably should have made squad leader by now. And if you haven't, tell him to talk to me.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Which is just...
Which makes me think, she probably is a little bit higher in the ranks compared to Rico right now, because she is a non-com, but even still. Yeah.
Yeah, but even as a number 2 pilot, that's still pretty high ranking.
Yeah.
She technically is one of the XOs at that point.
Mm-hmm. Rico says... see guys, all it takes is the love of a good woman, but she notices a buzzer going off, I guess a door buzzer or something like that, turns off the camera real quick, and the scene changes for Carmen's camera, and it's looking at the Julian system. This has Jupiter and 2 moons. Now, Jupiter has 4 bigger moons, or the major moons that it has, but then it has about 16 other smaller moons, like asteroids and smaller stuff like that. But, go ahead.
Here's what makes me think. So, yeah, I didn't notice that buzzer at the first time, but I was noticing, first she's supposed to be in her skivvies, then there's a buzzer that goes off. What if the part that she cut out was Xander walking in?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like, oh, Xander's here. I better turn this off.
Like, first, Xander and I are going to make love, and then I'll continue talking to Johnny in another recording.
I think you're giving her a little. I think you're hating her a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much hate.
Yeah, I think that's what she did.
Okay, but yeah, we get to see.
Unless you have a video to disprove me, Matt, that's my opinion.
I have 99 things that say that didn't happen, and one thing that did say it did happen.
Yeah, see, that's like Jay-Z.
Exactly.
He has that, except this time he has that one. So now he has 100 problems.
But yeah, okay, let's get back to the Jillian system. So yeah, they're in the orbit of Jupiter. Now the two moons that we see are either the first one that we see, that big one, is either going to be the first one is either Callisto or Ganymede, because those are the two outer bigger moons, and the one inside, the one smaller one inside, closer to Jupiter, is either Europa or Io. As I said before, the moons of Jupiter range from little tiny asteroids to big ones like these ones, but Jupiter only has 4 big, like circly or big planet-sized or moon-sized moons, and those would be it. They look kind of funky because at that time they didn't really have really good, pictures of those, so they just kind of winged it. So the first one that's right there kind of looks a little bit like Ganymede. I'm thinking, and the other one looks like Io. It doesn't look like Europa.
So here's my question, because Jupiter, easily the largest planet in our solar system.
It is, yes.
How far away do you think they are from this planet with the size of it being like that?
Okay, if you want to, I can check that real quick. Okay, so if this is Ganymede or Callisto, it's about anywhere between 1 million kilometers up or 1.8 million kilometers up.
Okay, so it's a safe enough distance, I guess, that they wouldn't get sucked in by the gravity well when they jumped.
Unless they're going as fast as they were going.
Yeah. No, but they're not being pulled into Jupiter the minute they landed from their jump.
As I said, they need to just go faster, as fast as either Ganymede or Callisto, to go faster, to not fall in.
Yeah. So that was kind of like my theory, because I didn't have as much of an understanding as you got, or as you do. Mm-hmm. And obviously the discussion did carry over to my Facebook. That's why I'm saying you guys. Which was really cool. I love that people are participating on the Facebook chat. It's so awesome.
Yeah, guys, if you want to continue our conversation with us, talk to us about this, please head over to the Roughneck Minute Billet, where we continue the conversation about this, space, dinosaurs, and anything else that we want to talk about.
So, my thing was because I was still trying to understand the concept of the gravity well at the time, was that they had to jump and land so far away from Jupiter, the minute they landed, they didn't get pulled in immediately.
Well, see, that's the thing. They probably would. Think of it more like, let me try to explain it a little better. Those those like cone circle things that you put a penny into and it spins around and round, fast and everything?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, you have to, what would happen if you put a penny just directly on the cone and drop it? It just falls right into the center, right?
Yeah, so you have to put it on that ramp.
Exactly. So it spins, it goes around. So if they were to jump, no speed or anything into right next to Jupiter, you'd be kind of like putting that penny right on the middle right there and just letting it fall in. It would just fall directly in. That's why they have to speed up going down that ramp to do a orbit around the gravity well.
Okay, so the minute they land, they kind of have to go along with the moons.
Exactly.
That orbit. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, they have to speed up or else they're going to fall. That's why I'm saying if they're going to jump, they need to speed up to, once they get out of that jump, then they're going that same speed. Just because I'm guessing the same, if you're already going that speed before you jump, you're already going that speed as soon as you come out of it.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Real quick about the graphic of the Jupiter that they're using, the part that I really like is if you pay attention, it looks like the atmosphere is swirling.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
they did really good.
That was like a really tiny touch that was super rad that they did that. There may have been someone that was really interested in interstellar travel, that they thought they couldn't just put a still photo and believe they could get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, the red dot is one of the fastest hurricanes in the solar system. I think it's upwards of. I think actually, the winds of Saturn are a lot faster, but this one is the biggest and fastest hurricane. I think it's upwards of like 12. I'm just going off the top of my head, but about 12,000 kilometers an hour or so.
Well, the thing that I thought was fascinating about that, well, it's called the Eye, isn't it? The Eye of Jupiter.
The big red spot.
Oh, is it the big red spot?
Great red spot or something like that.
So before I knew what it actually was, I thought it was what's it called? Landscape.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I think it's really cool that they're adding the atmosphere to this background when really like it could have been unnecessary at some point. Like someone probably thought like we don't need to put $1,000 into doing this, and someone decided to use the forethought that like no, this should be added if we're going to feature Jupiter like that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just really cool that someone had the sense to add this little tiny thing, and now that we pay attention to it, just like that was a really good detail that was added to it.
It really was. I enjoyed it quite a bit just because, this isn't a still picture. They're out in space. And this shows that, yes, they are out in space. It's not a still picture behind them. It's not, just a starscape behind them. This is something that someone graphically designed and did. And it looks great. But yeah, so once that scene changes, everyone behind Rico is like telling me, hey, be quiet, shh. And Carmen asks Rico to look at what she's looking at, and isn't it beautiful? Yeah, of course it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, actually. And she says that she loves it out here, but that's a problem. Carmen thinks she's gonna go career. She doesn't want to be a non-com anymore, and that's, as we'll see in the next minute, that's gonna be a bit of a problem.
So, on the script, I cut out the lines that she says in this current minute. So she says, look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I had to show you. It's just great to be out here on my own. I'm just not some little girl from Buenos Aires anymore. I'm going to be a starship pilot, and I'm going to see the universe. And that's also the problem. I don't really want to get married, Johnny. I don't want to have kids.
Boom.
Yep. So here's the part where I was like, when I'm reading basically everything about the script, because this is where I feel that they kind of dropped the hammer on Johnny so bad. Was first like, remember in the script, he had never gotten with Carmen at prom.
Yep.
The intro to the video is she's in underwear, something hasn't seen.
So she's basically just saying, here's a little something for you.
Yeah, it's a huge buildup for this. It's like, here, look at me. I'm gorgeous and I'm yours. Remember, if they, like, I've got your back. If you aren't squad leader, I'm gonna have your back. Also, by the way, I don't want to be with you.
So that's my question about this too. Do you think at a certain point that she wrote this or did this letter over a course of like a few days and then decided at the end of this video that, no, you know what? I'm writing Johnny all this time. I'm trying to find time to write Johnny. I don't think I want to be with him anymore. I gotta, make this the last letter.
Yeah. So that's also like in the theory that it was Xander that walked in the door.
And telling her, hey, you know what? You make a great pilot. You should go career. And she's got it in her head, I should go career.
Yeah.
But I won't have Johnny anymore. But I'm in Jupiter. I'm at Jupiter right now. This is beautiful. Oh.
Bye, Johnny.
Bye, Johnny.
See, that's what I mean. It's just and that's why I believe that it was Xander, because now she has this different thing. Like maybe he came up to her and said like, okay, we're going to be stationed out here for so long. We don't know when we're going to be back. And she's thinking about going like, I'm okay with that. I want to be a pilot. And then that's when it changes to the next part.
Yeah, I just don't subscribe to the theory that they were in the hallways macking and going crazy or anything. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Xander came in and talked to her about her career.
Yeah, like
I'm okay with that.
Any EXO would do.
Sure.
They would say like, okay, so why are you here, and what do you plan on doing before I start devoting time to your career and like, or how you're gonna be in this chair? That he did have a discussion with her about being an XO, and she's like, you know what, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. But that's where that minute ends. Do you want to talk about anything else about this particular minute?
Nope. I think we've done quite a bit on this one.
We have, actually. We're at minute 30. That's perfectly fine. One thing I do want to do a little housekeeping and everything, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for getting us over 1,000 downloads. We recently passed it this past week, actually. Right now, we're actually at about 1,200 downloads. Almost 1,200, almost 1,300 downloads.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys again so much for listening to us, subscribing to us. We'd really appreciate it if you rated us and reviewed us on iTunes, Google Play, or any other podcatcher that you guys find as well, too. But I'm going through the outro before I even go through the outro. But once again, guys, thank you so much. This is a milestone for us. I mean, we're a very small podcast. We do this for fun. And over 1,000 it blows my mind. It blows my wife's mind. She honestly thinks I can do this for a living now. I don't think this is going to pan out that way, though, but I appreciate it. But I really do appreciate the downloads, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to us.
Yeah. We're not at Patreon level support. we support ourselves at this point still. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, all I'm doing is just paying for the site fees and everything like that. And that's perfectly fine. It's not too much. If anything, like, we'd ask for donations at a certain point, but at this point, I'm not hurting for it. We're just doing it for fun. If you guys feel like you want to donate, I mean, go ahead and try to get a hold of me at the Roughneck Minute, at the Roughneck Minute on Twitter, or you can email us at the Roughneck Minute at gmail.com if you want to do that. But that's only if you want to. I'm not asking for it. But it would definitely help out if we did do that. But yeah. I don't want to shill. I don't want to shill.
Yeah. First off, like it's important to step off that we generally just love your support of downloading and messaging us and talking to us about things we've discussed over anything that's monetary. Like the monetary part just has almost nothing to do with the fact that you guys have an interest in us, and that's what we value the most.
Definitely. I mean, as I said to Johann many, many times, I mean, we already talk like this all the time. We just don't record it. Yeah. So, I mean, we just needed to record it, and we'd be fine.
So.
But where can they find you, Johann?
Okay, you can find me on Instagram and Twitch. The username is JDASHD26. And also my Twitter, which is OMG, it's Johann, JOHANN. I haven't been twitching all that much. I've been really busy with work and whatnot. In fact, I just came from working to make sure we get to record on time.
I really love your Twitter handle. It actually works really well.
I got it so long ago. I thought it was so funny at the time.
Well, at least it's not my old, MySpace or not Facebook. What is it called? Live journal name, which was Matthew He Smells.
Yeah. I don't even want to give out what my AIM one was. Thank God that thing is going down.
Thank goodness. But
that thing is so embarrassing.
It really is. You guys can find me at AltTabMatt pretty much anywhere from Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. I've been streaming a lot of Kerbal recently. Last night I did a 3-hour stream, and we're actually streaming right now to my channel. Just doing a little experiment to see if I like doing this. Just to see if you guys maybe want to watch us do this about 2 weeks before we actually release it.
All right.
You can follow the show at The Roughneck Min on Twitter. You can also go to our website, theroughneckminute.podbean.com, for any past episodes or show notes. You can also continue the conversation with us at the Roughneck Minute Billet on Facebook as well. Once again, we are on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and also YouTube. Please subscribe, rate, and review us as well, too. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to also give a shout out on our Facebook group, Kai. We had like a super awesome conversation about dinosaurs. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I love hearing the opinions of someone that is. So if you guys have anything to add on about, especially about Jupiter right now, since we talked about the two moons, if you know exactly which one it is, I do not mind knowing something I don't know. I love it. So if you guys just want to go like, hey, this one's this because of this reason, awesome. Let us know.
Definitely. I really actually enjoyed watching you guys go at it last night too.
Oh, I do not like. I didn't learn as much as he obviously does, and I was like, oh my god, this is so fun. And he's just sending me like, hey, you should check this out, and I'm like looking at it like, this is awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was going to be it for us. I've been one of your hosts, Matthew.
I've been your other host, Johann.
And we'll see you on the Bounce Troopers.